Happy Veterans Day to all of you out there. My dad was a World War II vet, along with three of his four brothers, and he would have also turned 103 today, had his birthday on Veterans Day. So hats off to all of you who served our country. Appreciate you so much, and thrilled to be in a country where there's so much patriotism. We are now down to 19 days until the Cybertruck handover. Pretty sure Tesla will continue to create lots and lots of news heading up to that day, and we have a couple of such items in this episode. And there's more and more analysts who are coming over to the side of good news in 2024 for both inflation and the economy. We'll touch on a couple of those things as well. This is Randy Kirk, and this is time for you to touch on the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, yeah, okay. I know you just don't subscribe, right? You don't subscribe to anybody. Well, subscribe to me. Make me be here the first one that you do it. And then hit the notify button. We've got tomorrow morning, no idea. But I'll figure it out soon. And then tomorrow night, we have a regular Sunday night show. Most of you attend that show because we talk about what's going to happen with the financial situation as well as Tesla in the week coming up. Look at all of that. And of course, next week is a pretty big week, given that we have the CPI and the PPI. Yes, and other stuff too. Anyway, and then you also want to hit, what do you want to call it? Patreon. You want to join Patreon for either $5 or $10 a month. Come on, you know you can afford that. And the ones who can't, don't do it, okay? But if you can, hit the tip jar, man. Come on, let's go, all right? Go to Patreon, information down below. You just click on the thing, click on the link. You go up there. It's all automatic after that. And you get that daily news to the extent that there is any. Sorry, it's been a very boring news week, even though we've had exciting stuff to talk about in the show. It's hard. This week has been hard, especially the last about 3 or 4 days. But even all week, it was a slow news week. Okay. Don't forget, you should also buy a Cybertruck bottle opener, $25. Again, you know the drill. Information down below in the description. Thank you so much for the multiple folks, hundreds, I guess at this point. Yes, hundreds of folks who have bought the Cybertruck bottle opener. All right. Tesla has announced today that they've created an anti-flipping clause for their new Cybertrucks. When you purchase your Cybertruck, the contract will stipulate that Tesla has the first right of refusal to purchase the vehicle should the owner have a special need requiring them to sell. In other words, first you're going to have to prove that you have a reason to sell within the first year. And then after you prove that you have a reason why you need to sell, Tesla gets the first right to be able to buy it back from you. And at the price you paid, less 25 cents a mile. And there's some other legalese in there about, as long as it's in good condition and whatnot. The penalty for the breach is $50,000. That may or may not be enough. So if you pay $100,000 for it and the breach is 50, are there going to be any buyers out there that might be willing to pay 175? Maybe. So maybe the 50,000 needs to be upped. Anyway, this apparently is a concept that is often used for limited edition vehicles. So Tesla's not original on this, but I'm glad they've got that solution for the problem. All right, from Ryan Detrick, CMT, or I guess his handle on X is just Ryan Detrick, D-E-T-R-I-C-K. And I've been seeing him popping up a little bit. Some good stuff here. He says, do you know that the earnings per share for the Fortune 500 is trending higher for next year? Did you know that forward profit margins are trending higher for the Fortune 500 for next year? And did you know that forward CapEx is also trending higher, meaning that people are going to be spending more on capital expenses next year than they have been this year? All those three are increasing. He goes on to say, if you couple that with the jump in productivity, another productivity guy. If you couple that, all three of those things with the jump in productivity we've seen in the past 2 quarters, it is hard to say that we're on the edge of a major recession like we keep hearing. Agreed. Farzad says, and he's on X, he is Farziness. He says, hey, Grok has figured out Tesla their first Super Bowl commercial. So he put a thing in there. He says, come up with the wildest, most bizarre Super Bowl text that you can possibly think of. I'm going to have to sit a little closer to read this. Okay, we got, ladies and gentlemen, prepare to have your minds blown by the latest innovation from the mad genius himself, Elon Musk, introducing the Tesla Cybertruck, a vehicle so futuristic, it looks like it just rolled out of a sci-fi movie in the year 3000. Picture this, a sleek, angular, stainless steel beast that can outrun a cheetah, tow a mountain, and make your neighbor's car look like a sad little toy. With its unbreakable windows, well, almost, and its ability to drive on Mars, well, maybe. The Cybertruck is the ultimate status symbol for the modern human who wants to look as if they just stepped off a spaceship. But that's not all. This bad boy is also environmentally friendly because who doesn't love a little bit of eco-conscious irony? So gather your friends, your family, and your pet cat and take a ride in the Tesla Cybertruck, the only vehicle that can make you feel like a superhero, a time traveler, and a responsible citizen all at once. Disclaimer, this commercial may contain traces of hyperbole, and the Cybertruck may not actually be able to time travel. Please consult your local laws before attempting to tow a mountain. So, I had to bring this to you because that's really well done. That is apparently something that was created on Grok. And that is humorous. That is well written. I'm impressed. I've been playing with ChatGPT now for months, many months. And ChatGPT can't do that. Not even close. So that's worth, it's interesting from a number of directions, not the least of which is Grok, at least in terms, well, anyway, you figure it out for yourself. All right. From Business Insider. This is a little bit of a long article, but I think it's really worth it. Goldman Sachs sees a 15% recession probability for the year ahead. So that's really down there, 15%. And the bank expects a handful of tailwinds to support global growth and investments as the macro landscape reverts to pre-2008 conditions. There's a theory in economics and in the stock market where if you have a trend that has been established prior to something like the pandemic, prior to some kind of major impact, a bigger war than the Ukraine or the Israeli thing might be another example, but there's a lot of potential examples there. If you've got this major trend and then you have this interruption, that once the interruption has been resolved, you go back to the trend line. I don't know if I buy that or not, but it is an economic theory. So they're saying that is going to happen. I've seen other people, they're not the first. I've seen multiple other people talk about reverting to this trend line. In a note to clients this week titled "The Hard Part is Over," Goldman strategists led by Jan Hatzius highlighted that economies around the world have outperformed even optimistic expectations during 2023. Policymakers have put an end to the easy money era, and the transition to higher rates has so far been rocky, as illustrated by high volatility in the stock market, the rapid tightening of financial conditions, and the rising number of zombie corporations going belly up, which is what you want to have happen in any kind of a rough market. Other Wall Street forecasters, too, have cautioned that a wave of distressed debt and troubled balance sheets will come to the surface in the coming months as tighter financial conditions bite. Charles Schwab has estimated that defaults will peak sometime between now and the first quarter of 2024. So looking for this to happen sooner rather than later. Goldman expects returns in rates, interest rates, credits, equities, and commodities all to exceed cash returns in 2024. Inflation, they say, should continue to decline in 2024. Real household income growth should grow. Manufacturing activity will bounce back. And the central banks, led by the Federal Reserve, should become increasingly willing to cut rates in the firm's view. Well, that's Goldilocks, all right. You think I'm an optimist? Wow. Quoting, "We don't think the last mile of disinflation will be particularly hard," Hatzius said. Although the improvement in the supply-demand balance in the goods sector, measured, for example, by supplier delivery lags, is now largely complete, The impact on core goods disinflation is still unfolding and will likely continue through most of 2024. I only disagree in one regard, and that the one place I don't agree is in this whole category of travel services. It's a big category, a growing category. I don't know if they can get that inflation under control. Despite their relative optimism, Goldman strategists said they see higher than normal risks for 2024. Even if disinflation continues at a steady clip, it is possible the Fed and other central banks will keep interest rates high for longer than expected. Thinking about market moving, that was the end of that particular article. Now, I was thinking earlier today about market moving events that we know will happen and that may or may not move Tesla up over the next, let's call it 2 months or so. So we're just going out 2 months. We'll go out as far as the earnings report at the end of January. All right, so every single Tuesday in November and December, everybody's going to be looking at those China numbers because everybody wants to know, are they going to hit the expectations of, let's say, 460 to 470,000 sales or shipments, or is it going to be above that? And the only thing that we're going to get to see that's other than, Troy Tesla's numbers and other people making, guesses is the China numbers will give us some kind of evidence of what's really taking place. So if those numbers are like 80,000, 85,000, 90,000, that's going to create some excitement. And every Tuesday, that's going to happen. And we've seen the China numbers move the market before. Then we've got the Cybertruck handover. Now, there could be some FOMO going into that actual date, and then we're going to get the prices and specs. Assumedly, the prices and specs will not be out until that day, although we've had leaks. So there may be other leaks, there may be other surprises, and maybe this whole business of the $50,000 penalty for trying to flip your Cybertruck, maybe that's because they're not going to come out with a $100,000 vehicle. Maybe they're going to start it at 79 or something like that. So interesting to see what happens there. And then there could be surprises on that day. We don't know what those surprises might be. There could be surprises in some specs or some stuff that the Cybertruck can do that we don't know yet. There could be a quad. Remember, this was originally announced there was a quad. Maybe that's still going to happen. There could be other surprises unrelated to Cybertruck. And then, of course, my favorite is maybe Optimus and a few of his friends will be making an in-person, so to speak, in person, you get it, appearance at the event. All right, then there'll be the reviews after the handover, and I'm expecting some major influencers will be part of that, including probably Jay Leno. And those could move the market. December, there'll be the release of the China numbers for both domestic. So we have the overall numbers for domestic and export for the month of November. And again, if we see that those are getting up there, that'll be a help. And then that's it for December that we know of. Now, we could hope for news in December of the Model 3 Plus for the United States and any news about Jupiter. And then on January 2nd, we get total shipments. That'll move the market for sure, one way or the other, unless it's dead on the exact number. If it's higher, it helps. If it's lower, etc. All right. Then on January 17th or 24th, don't know yet, we'll have the earnings. And then hopefully there will be announcements of production at Corpus Christi or of new factories or expansions or putting shovels in the ground in Mexico. And of course, any of those things could happen between now and then. But I would hope that if we haven't heard on any of them by then, that maybe we could have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of those by that time. But we don't know. We don't know. All right. And then sometime before January 24, there should be some beginning evidence of production of the Cybertruck. So whether it's the flyovers, whether it is Tesla actually giving numbers, whether it's the number of what do you call it, the registration numbers. So one way or the other, we'll start seeing, are they making 3 a day? Are they making 10 a day? Are they making 100 a day? What are the real numbers? And that could be a market mover. All right. Well, that should be enough for Sunday night. If you've got an idea for what I should do tomorrow morning, would you put that in the comments below, like ASAP? Because, it's 5 o'clock on Saturday night, and I don't know what my subject is for tomorrow morning. All right. And then, of course, tomorrow night, I will be back with a regular Sunday night. We call it Monday morning if you're not a regular. So it's Monday morning because we're telling you what is going to happen Monday morning and for the week ahead, or at least our expectations of what we think is going to be happening. Hit like if you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit notify, buy. All right. I'm going to spend a minute. If you've already seen this 100 times, whoops. Oh, there it is. If you've seen this 100 times, you can go. It's all right. I got nothing. It's all I'm going to talk about because some people have never seen it yet. You realize that? There's people watching right now that have never seen the Cybertruck bottle opener. It's stainless steel, just like the Cybertruck. It is super thick, just like exactly the same, 3 millimeters as the Cybertruck. It's got a big magnet on the back. So it's a refrigerator magnet. Wouldn't that look great on your refrigerator? It can go on a shelf. It can go in your cabin. It can go when you're going to the football game, for your, what do you call that thing party? The kind of party you have when you put that, anyway. There's so many ways that you can use the Cybertruck bottle opener. Impress your friends. You can give them away. You haven't bought any Christmas presents yet, and you probably won't until December 23rd or 24th. So surprise everybody this year and actually buy the Christmas presents early. If you buy more than one, you get a deal. $25 for one, $45 for two, $65 for three, $220 for 10, and 400 and I'm lost. I can't remember. It's all down below in the description. Send your money to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase letters. And some people have been saying, hey, I don't have a credit card. Well, send me a check. Get in contact with me. You can actually take a picture of the check front and back and just send it to me by my email, randykirk77@gmail.com. That's another way to do it. You can buy it on Amazon. You just pay more, and I don't make as much. So I'd rather you buy it direct from me, but you can buy it on Amazon. That's it. That's all I got. It's been great talking to you.